Yeah, hi there. These comments are for 0802, and I am Professor Buckoff, your English 102B instructor. I'm also the founder, owner, and the materials writer for the online TOEFL course, the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. Now, in your case, you put together a good paper here. Overall, I gave you a score of 90 points out of 100. The only area you lost points was with your language use, your grammar, mostly grammar problems. So I wanted to take a look at just a few of those errors so you can kind of get used to some of the problems that you're having in writing. So the first one, and it does happen a lot in your writing, it's what's called a comma splice. So go to paragraph 1. Let's read the first sentence together. You say March 11th, 2011, a magnitude 9.0 earthquake happened in Japan, comma. Soon a tsunami that caused hit the Fukushima 1 nuclear power plant. So there, right after Japan, you have to put a period there, not a comma, because those are two separate sentences. So be careful about your sentence structure. Now let's take a look at the next one. In that same paragraph, you say, therefore the plant could only relied. Now when you're using the word could are modals, and you can only use the base form of the verb after a modal. So you don't want to conjugate that. Now in that same paragraph, let's go to the very last sentence. You say, in order to cool down the reactors, Japanese government ordered the plant using the seawater. You want to use there to use. You want to use an infinitive, not a gerund. It is common sometimes to use infinitives to talk about potential actions, and then it's common to use gerunds to talk about completed actions. In this case, I think that the infinitive works better. So in that first paragraph, you have some problems with sentence structure. You have some problems with what's called word choice, or using the correct form of the word, for example, after the modal, and then also differentiating between infinitives and gerunds. So you can't solve all these problems in one quarter, not even 2 quarters. But you can solve these problems by getting more exposure to the English language. What that means is you have a break coming up. You have about 6 weeks approximately, maybe 4 or 5 weeks, and during that time you want to get more exposure to the language. It'll make your writing much easier when you come back in January. And don't forget, if you haven't registered for the English 103B class for next quarter, please do that today. Do it right after you watch this video. The chair of the English department sent me a message and said that only 5 students from English 102B have registered for the next quarter. So it doesn't matter if you have passed or not passed my class. You should go ahead and assume that you're passing and register for the next class. Alright, anyway, so you have language use problems, but also you know how to think, you know how to organize, you know how to conduct research, and you know how to develop your idea. So that's why I gave you a higher score of 90 on this, even though you had some problems with language use. Alright, so anyway, thank you very much, and happy holidays.